Can you still see me?
I can.
Okay, I can't. How about now?
Yep.
You can still see me. Okay, good.
But you're
I'm glad.
frozen. I will say that. You're frozen.
I'm frozen. Okay. I don't know why I'm frozen to you. Okay. If I go here, no, not
You're back.
there. I'm back. If I go here,
Yep.
I don't think that's a good thing though. I don't think we're on. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work because I don't know what I'm doing. So let me just stop it. I don't think we're recording anymore. So maybe we can just record it and upload it.
Yes. Come on, dude, stop it. Stop.
That stinks. All right, on my record. Yay! We are live, kind of. Well, thank you so much, Amber, for joining me on my crazy adventures on Saturday. I truly appreciate you. And today we're going to be talking about sleep. So, for everyone who is just tuning in with us, this is the amazing Amber Damos from Life Force Wellness Center. If you've never been there before, I do not know how you are living your life. She has the Himalayan salt room, which has like vitamins and minerals that we absolutely have to have in our bodies. You can get it coming through your feet, which is probably like the best way, right? Just put your feet in there and it's all nice and comfortable. She's got this vibro acoustic lounger that we're going to talk about in a little bit. She has so much stuff there, brain tap, so much stuff to help you reduce stress and get your vibrations back where they need to be, that I just can't wait to talk about that. And then I am Dr. Sakina Bunch, and I am the owner of Cleangoodeats. We are a farm-to-table cooking studio located in Radcliffe, Kentucky, but we do so much more than cook. I tell people I love to eat, therefore I cook. So we have an amazing conversation for you today. We're going to be talking about sleep. If you're someone who is sleep deprived, and you do not understand why you are sleep deprived, this is definitely the conversation for you. So, Amber, let's talk about the importance of sleep. In your line of work, what would you say would be the most important reason why you need to get sleep?
Well, I think the most important reason is to allow your brain to basically detoxify. When you go into that nice deep sleep, your brain gets to take a little bit of a rest from the outside world and always having to monitor and make sure we stay safe. So kind of allows that brain to just kind of do that deep clean that we all need, just like deep cleaning our house. We need to do that in our brain more often than just our house, right?
Absolutely. And, on that same vein, so you deal a lot with the mind, whereas I deal a lot with more the nutrition and the food side. And I agree with you because the body is on a body clock, right? Our body is on a clock. That circadian rhythm is a serious thing that we need not mess with. And I think, with the invention of these wonderful lights that we have, all throughout our homes, that probably, yep. And I think that it really started to put our melatonin production on a decline when we started having those. But one of the key reasons that I believe is our liver. Our liver is one of the biggest detoxing organs in our body. It's our filter, right? And it detoxes itself between 1 and 3 a.m. And if we are not asleep, like in a deep sleep, right, our liver cannot do what it was designed to do. And a lot of times too, when we're eating late at night, right, the body doesn't, it's not a great multitasker. We like to think that it is, but it is not. And so either you're going to digest your food, or you're going to sleep. You're not doing both at the same time. So sleeping is really just that important, where the body says, okay, let's stop all these other processes so that we can get the sleep in that we need. Are you in agreement with that?
100%. And I think exactly what you said with eating too late. If the body is having to digest food when it should be cleaning itself out and sleeping, we're taken away from one of our functions. God did not design our body to do that. We didn't have all these modern conveniences when the human body first got formed, right? And so I think so many of us were just walking around, like little, I'm not going to say zombies, but in a state of just toxic overload, because the body did not get to clean itself out at night, and the brain. And we're just overloaded with toxins environmentally, and then what we do to ourselves on a daily basis.
Absolutely. I was reading, me, I'm on my quest to read a book a week, right? So I was reading
So
in
awesome.
one of the books that the human growth hormone, we're going to talk about the human growth hormone. We're so looking at the scale, right? And we're like, why am I not losing weight? Well, part of the reason you're not losing weight is because you're not sleeping, right? Okay. And if you're not sleeping, that's where, like you said, the body detoxes. So when we're breathing out, people don't realize that's where the weight is going. You're breathing it out. So if you're not asleep to breathe it out, guess what? Your body is constantly fighting with you to try to figure out, okay, am I under stress? Because when we're not sleeping, we tend to be under stress.
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight. That's right. So if we're under stress, and then the body holds on to that beautiful hormone called cortisol, right? It's going to produce that so we can hold on to all your beautiful fat. And you're not going to lose the weight. You're going to be in a constant state of overload, whereas your toxins are concerned. And we're not just talking about food toxins. We're not even talking about the toxins that are in the air that you're breathing. We're talking about the toxins of the mind, where you are so stressed out that your body is like, okay, you're stressed. I don't know if you're running from a bear or a bill collector, but either way, I'm going to hold on to this fat because I don't know when we're going to eat again.
Absolutely. And I was an ultrasound tech. And so I would be scanning people's livers, because everybody's going to the doctor because their liver enzymes are elevated, which means your liver is stressed, which means your liver is storing all this extra fat. And they call it hepatosteatosis, which is called fatty liver. And some people, a lot of people have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. So we understand cirrhotic livers and alcoholic livers, but what we don't think about is alcohol is made from a grain. Well, so is flour, so are pastries, so are all these other things. And the body don't know what to do with them. And when your cortisol goes up, it says, hey, store all this as fat because we're in survival mode. We might need this later. And so instead of letting go of the fat, being nice, relaxed, and able to digest and get rid of that and then sleep the way you're supposed to, we're stressed to the max, at cortisol's high. And so everything is saying, store this as fat. We might need it for later to get away from the bill collector or the bad boss or the stressful kids or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Or driving on 65 on any given day.
I like that.
I know. Yeah. So I can completely agree with everything that you were saying. There was a thought that was on my mind, and I was so engrossed in what you said that it just like went this way. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm so sure that it'll come back. But when we're talking about, I remember. For the past 4 weeks, I stopped eating grains. I stopped eating sugar, and I even stopped eating nightshades. Right? So those three things.
Tomatoes,
and I'm going to tell you, yes. And I'm going to tell you, now I love my peppers. I love my peppers. Okay.
Yeah.
But I even gave those up for a time, and the weight came off. But not only did the weight come off, my sleep was so much better. Right? I'm the type of person, I'm very light in my sleep. So if
Mm.
my dog breathes wrong, I'm awake. And I'm awake for a long time.
Yes.
But in getting rid of those things, and I'm not saying that's the only thing that I did, right, to do that, but I could definitely see the difference in getting rid of those things as my sleep got better.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
a lot of them are inflammatory because of our microbiome. And this is what you deal with so much when you want to feed your body the good things to help your microbiome, because actually it outnumbers our human cells, right? And
Yes.
so we don't think about it. It's an organism. And if it doesn't feel good because we're feeding it cheap, fast, and easy processed foods, it's feeding the bad stuff in there and not allowing our human body to live to an optimal potential. Right. So we're
Mm-hmm.
always tired because everything is so sluggish.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, it's just too
Yeah.
much. Much.
And I love that phrase that you said, cheap, fast, and easy, right? So, as we're younger, we believe, oh, I'm going to go to the fast food restaurant. It's cheap. It's an easy thing. It's convenient. But when we get older, right, it's not cheap because it's expensive, right? Doctor's appointments and all the medicine that we generally tend to take when we don't feel well, that's expensive, right? We're definitely slow. We are not fast anymore. We are slow. Our mind is slow. Our body is slow, right?
Absolutely.
So we're
Yeah.
slow. Everything except the blood pressure. Blood pressure is going to be high. Right? Blood pressure tends to be
The
high.
cholesterol
And
is going to
then,
be high.
yes, yes. And then, easy, nothing's coming easy anymore to you.
Yeah.
Nothing's coming easy anymore to you. And then, honestly, I love that you brought up cholesterol too. And I know we're going to be talking about this. Can you believe it's a week from Saturday? We're having our adult camp at Cleangoodeats a week from Saturday. And we're going to be talking about this there. A lot of people, when the doctor tells them they have high cholesterol, they take it for granted. Okay, I have high cholesterol. But when you ask them, what does that mean? When you ask them, what does your cholesterol do in your body? When you ask them, does your body naturally make cholesterol or do you just get it from food? They don't have the answer. And so I think a lot of times too, when we go to the doctor, we need to be armed with information because
100%.
the doctor understands what they're talking about. It may not necessarily be what you need all the time, but they understand what they're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't understand what they're talking about. And so if you two, that's just like if I'm speaking Spanish and you're speaking Japanese, we're not communicating because neither one of us knows what we're talking about to each other,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So in that adult camp, you're going to be sharing how to naturally reduce your stress so you're not constantly in that fight or flight, how to rewire our mind to think on those things that are going to push us forward instead of hold us back, right? And
Absolutely.
you're bringing that vibroacoustic. I keep talking about that thing. I love that thing. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
So vibroacoustic. So I got certified in vibroacoustic therapy because I wanted to make sure the science and research was there. And it has been there for such a long time, way back, even chanting in the churches. Okay, that's a reverberatory sound coming from the body, the purr of a cat, the sound of a dog, all these things that people find soothing and relaxing, music that you love that infuses your body. Those things help to relax us, or they can fire us up. Music is so dependent on the creator of the music and the frequencies that they use. So the frequencies that I use are all going to be like solfeggio frequencies, which are frequencies of the earth, anywhere between 0 and 50 hertz. I do have some that go up much higher than that, but for the most part, we stay between that 0 and 50 hertz, the frequency of the earth. So you get this amazing just feeling through your body where you even feel tingly, almost like you're floating, because it is relaxed. Every cell of your body, even your bones are being relaxed. And well, not necessarily relaxed per
Right?
se, but you're feeling it all the way down to your bones. And there's so much research. There's nurses studies that watch chemo patients and they watch them exposed to different sounds and different frequencies and just different music. And they watched how it took some of their pain away, how it helped them relax, how it helped them get into a meditative state. And to me, meditation is just allowing yourself to listen to the words of God instead of asking for what it is that you need. you actually get the moments of clarity
Mm-hmm.
to actually listen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we just put you in such a relaxed state that you just allow yourself to heal, the space and opportunity for that.
Mm-hmm. I love I love that. You know, when I think about what you're saying about music, right, and how David was a man after God's own heart, and he was a musician. He played the harp. You know, like the harp for me is just so calming. It's so calming.
Yes.
But then I know when I play that trumpet, right, like that trumpet gets me hyped.
Yes.
And so those vibrations really do work on your frequency and your emotions, and whether you're going to be hyper or whether you're just going to be nice and calm. And even with the chemo, like you were saying, I remember my husband had this song that he loved to play when he was listening to chemo. I'm listening to chemo. When he was taking in his chemo, he loved to listen to it. And when he didn't have that song, he was more anxious when he was taking in the chemo as opposed to when he was listening to this song and other songs that were very similar to this song. He was able to take it and even recover from it
Yes,
faster and better. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so
Absolutely.
much research on the sound and how it helps people MS. There's so much when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to, like, even the way a doctor or nurse expresses their self towards you, if they're
Yeah.
hopeful, if they're optimistic versus somebody who's not. So there's
Yeah.
so much to, I think, what you're teaching and what I can bring in. And
Mm-hmm.
so anyways, I thank you for inviting me, but I'm super
Absolutely.
excited to be able to be a part of this with you because we are the change makers of the world.
Yeah.
And it's because we have a personal story, right? And we have
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason why we want people to find these things
Yeah.
and be their own health advocate. I used to tell
Mm-hmm.
when I did ultrasound, I would say you are your best health advocate. Get a
Yep.
copy of all your records, read your records, because not what's not important to your doctor right now might be important to you so that you can be proactive to take control of your be sovereign, become a sovereign person in your own skin, your own body, and stand up for yourself because we don't realize doctors work for us. We don't work for them. So we can
Amen.
fire them and we can hire them and we can find the
Mm-hmm.
ones that have our best interest in mind instead of having to go to the one that just gives us 5 minutes that already has their hand on the door. They already know what they're going to prescribe because of the system.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we get to buck
Absolutely.
the system here.
That's right. That is right. Well, Amber, I'm so excited about this. Please tell everyone first how they can get in contact with you, and then also what your key takeaway is from what we're going to be doing on the 29th.
Well, on the 29th, well, so before then, you can reach me at Life Force Wellness Center in Elizabethtown, 270-982-4848, or you can go to the website, lifeforcewellnesscenter.com. And gosh, my key takeaway from this is I'm just going to say to put yourself first. It really is. It is putting the good in through what you hear, what you see, because your eyes see the food and they see how delicious and colorful that is. And if we can understand that, we can change how we see the packaging at the store to realize that that packaging is designed from food that we can make, and it can be nutritious and delicious and colorful and beautiful and nourish our soul.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So real quick before I do the take home, y'all, the take home. Uh, this past week we had a camp. It was a baking camp for our youth. And we did a whole thing, which we're also going to do on the 29th too. It's a game. It's called Name That Food Like Item. And the kids were astonished to find out some of the ingredients in some of their favorite foods and what those ingredients were. Like this week, they learned what a neurotoxin was. And one of the parents said, "Hey, after we leave here, I'm going to take you to such and such." It was a fast food restaurant, such and such. And they were like, "No, I don't want to go there. They serve neurotoxins." I was like, "Okay." And they said, "I'd rather make it at home." That, that for me
That changes a
blessed
life.
everything. Yep,
Absolutely.
everything, everything. So you can find me at Cleangoodeats, and that is 1483 North Dixie Boulevard in Radcliffe, Kentucky. And my major takeaway from the 29th is you're just going to be in awe, realizing the way you thought about health and the way you think about your health and the generations after you is going to completely change. Completely change.
100%.
Yeah, completely change. So thank you so much, Amber. I appreciate you. All right. And
Making the
then
world
until
healthy one person at a time.
one person at a time, because we're going to reach the one person, the family, the community, and beyond,
Absolutely.
right? All
That's how
right.
we
Well,
started.
thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.